Namaste. This is Jatayu. I have interacted with you in the Vimarsha group before. I attended some of your courses also. This is a follow-up question to regarding the one on Ananda. You mentioned about Panchadashi. So, Yogananda you mentioned, which is, Vishayananda, which is an experience ultimately. And then you mentioned there are gradations of Ananda, right? So the text also talks about Vidyananda, Yogananda, which are also experiences. Yeah. But its ultimate gradation, Atmananda, is not really an experience, right? Because any experience is time bound. It has a beginning and end. Yeah. So whatever he designates as Atmananda is not really an experience, is what I understood. It is just jnana. Yeah. He is just expressing the Advaitic wisdom with a different name. Yeah. So my question is that the case with the philosophy that you mentioned also? Because there you said there are gradations. So is the ultimate Ananda, which is described as Brahmananda there, is that an experience? Is that also an experience, or is it equivalent to the Advaitic wisdom?
So again, Jatayu Baluru, I know we have interacted and I'm honored you are here. And again, this might need to be a little bit of boiling down. So what in the Advaita Vedanta, the question is, if it is an experience, experience is still an object. There is no absolute shattering of the ego as long as something is considered experience. There is no total non-duality as long as something we call is experience. Experience has a structure, if not the external structure, but it has its own inner structure, and therefore from the pure Advaita Vedanta standpoint, it is, you cannot call this as an experience because it would be a vritti. From the Advaita perspective, vritti means a mental modification. And pure state of being in the Brahman cannot be the vritti or the mental modification. Agreed. Now, in the case of Tantric text, almost everything is accepted here, but what they are doing is, number one, they are making the gradings of these experiences mapping in relation to pranic states. That is one metaphysics we do not find in Advaita Vedanta. And then number two, 2 points. For the Tantrics, they come up with a category of Vishwatirna Vishwamayata, which means that it is transcending objectivity, transcending the totality, and then at the same time enveloping the totality, simultaneously being everything and transcending everything. From the Tantric perspective, the state of Jivan Mukti is more what they call Bhairava Dasha, is at the same time being in the Nirguna state, but at the same time experiencing the joy of the blissful modes of Vishayas in myriads of forms. So there is no total erasure of subjectivity, but it is logically incomprehensible. Because how can there be a subjectivity and not even our individuated subjectivity, because it's the paripurna means completely full. It is the replete state of subjectivity, Bhairava Dasha. And that bliss Jagadananda. So this Jagadananda is how they have graded is goes beyond Brahmananda, because in Brahmananda subjectivity is erased, it is not given as experience. In Jagadananda, this subject is not the subject to capture the totality of the bliss. So there is this totality as a subject is Bhairava, that is more or less like a Vedanta concept of Prajapati basically, or Hiranyagarbha. It's the totality experiencing itself. And then that totality is experiencing, but the totality experiencing subject is transcending its own subjectivity at the same time. Because how can they do it at the same time? Because the time basically is its construct. It is way above time. So therefore simultaneous, succession, all these categories really do not apply here. It is only we trying to make sense of the mechanisms of experiencing everything and being a type of subject that envelops all the divided modes of subjectivity. So this is discussed more, I would say, in Paratrishika and Spandakarika, and we can have, as you can see, the subject is so dense that we can have more conversation in the coming times. Okay, thank you so much.